Uncle Evan Maud, and right now we are going through the process of dealing with the starlight tours right in this very building right behind us. And first of all, I want to thank the organizers, thanking Sheila, Brittany, and others. We need more people like Martin Luther King, but amongst our crowd here, and I know each and every one of you are like a Martin Luther King, where we have to fight for our civil rights. As you know, they're building more jails. They're hiring 57 more police officers here in the city of Winnipeg, and the numbers are staggering. And I thank all citizens here in the crowd for supporting this walk. But at the same time, there's 90% of our jails are filled with Aboriginals in the penitentiaries, and of course here in the law courts, the Remand Centre, that don't have to be there. But at the same time, our people are being brutalized when they're brought into the law courts. 3 weeks ago, my nephew, another nephew, was beaten in the garage downstairs. Down there, there's no cameras there. So probably on a daily basis, somebody's being beaten by the Winnipeg Police. We have to make the police accountable. We have to do whatever's necessary. Myself, I am writing a petition and presenting. I want to get thousands of signatures. We need another Aboriginal Justice Inquiry, or we can go beyond those borders and make it a public justice inquiry for the brutalization of all people, of all walks of life, because I know and you know it happens to all, regardless of color or race. It happens to all of our people here in Canada. We have rights, we have civil rights. When those rights are infringed on, then the police become criminals themselves. And like I just ask you, like, to support one another. This has to grow. It happens in other cities across Canada, other towns. We know racism is deep rooted in the police force. They need to be educated. Society needs to be educated. And I ask the mayor to step up to the plate, and whatever he needs to do to deal with racism in his police force, make it mandatory for all of his officers to come and learn from us. We're beautiful people, and we don't need to be in jails. Provide programs, help us. I'm extending my hand, but at the same time, your police officers cannot take the law into their own hands. Justice must be for all citizens. Justice is for the ordinary people here. But for over 100 years, I think that one of the speakers said since 1873, the Royal Mounted Police, of course, put our people on reserves, etc., etc. But anyways, I just want to thank you, and we're going to have another fundraiser for my nephew, Evan Maud. We're fundraising for his legal expenses. We're not backing down. He did nothing wrong that evening. He He has a right to walk home at 2 o'clock in the morning. He has a right to walk from point A to point B, untouched by the police. But that night, he was touched by the police. He was driven out to a remote area in the city and brutalized by the Winnipeg Police. That is uncalled for. That is not necessary. That is police brutality, and it must end today. Thank you.
Thanks for that. I hope everyone has the patience for one more speech. My name is Jacquie, and I work for the John Howard Society of Manitoba. We're an organization that works with men in conflict with the law. That includes inmates, ex-inmates, people on probation, parole, many people who are in contact with the justice system, and many people who reside in the building behind you. So before I begin, maybe a wave of support. Many of them...
We're supporting you!
Many of the men and women in this building know that we're here today, and they know why we're here. So hopefully most of them are watching. I run the literacy program in the Winnipeg Remand Centre on behalf of John Howard Society, and there I help adult male inmates with reading, writing, and math skills. When I told my students that John Howard was a partner in International Day Against Police Brutality, they were excited and they were eager to be involved. As you can imagine, many of them have their own stories about police violence and police harassment, and I'm here to share a couple of those stories with you today. Several of my students submitted writing to me on this topic, including one who says that his home was invaded by police while he had guests over one night. He writes that a group of police kicked in his door and entered the room with guns drawn, yelling for everyone to get down. They searched his friends, took their ID, and then kicked everyone out but him. He recalls, "I asked them where their warrant was and what was this about, and two of them threw me against the wall and held me there, and another took my yellow pages and put it to my ribs. He started yelling at me, asking me where was a person that I had not seen in 5 years. I told him I didn't know, and he started punching the book over and over, while the other two police officers held my hands in the air. After 10 minutes, they left me with sore ribs and a $1,000 broken door bill. I phoned my lawyer, who said they didn't need a warrant because someone had phoned them and said there was a person with a gun at my condo. This wasn't true at all. My guests were not criminals. They were respected people in the community. I guess police are the only ones who don't have to obey the law."
Shame on them.
Shame!
Another student recalls an incident when he was quite young and stopped by the police while walking with his friends, who quickly scattered. Because he was gang involved, they asked him questions. Where are the guns? Where are the drugs? He didn't answer, and so they cuffed him and put him into the car.
Shame on you guys.
"Next thing I know," he writes, "I'm in a back lane in the wrong neighborhood. They took me out of the car, told me to turn around, then uncuffed me. I thought I was free to go, so I started to turn to walk away. That's when one cop punched me in the jaw. The other cop joined in and they punched me in the nose and in the eyes. They kept asking me, 'Where's the money? Tell us and we'll let you go.' Eventually I fell to the ground and stopped moving. I lay still and pretended to be passed out until they stopped hitting me and left. Then I got up. Not only was my nose broken and my eyes blackened, but the area they had driven me to was, well, let's say, not a welcoming area for me at all because of the color of my skin and the gang I was in. As I was walking home, I saw some people coming towards me. I didn't wait to find out if it was who I thought it was. I ran as fast as I could back to my own neighborhood.